Like his dad, fought in the war and all that. And he's like, you know what, Andrew? I haven't told anybody this. He's like, but I would rather be in gunfights, and stuff like that. But I've never felt a primal fear like that before in my life.
Yeah.
And this dude, he's straight up, like, no BS, no nothing. He tells you how it is. And that's what he said. He's like, dude, I've never been so afraid before in my life. I just felt the primal fear and evil of these things, man. And these things were circling us, man. And all we had were just our pistols, and we were just back to back the whole night. We're just praying the whole time. And next thing you know, the sun came up and they were gone. So my buddy Brian texted me that, and I'm like, cool, let's get the team. Let's go check it out, So we went, and this area we went to, it was federal property, so certain things we shouldn't have brought, but we did, because I'd rather worry about it later, than be carried off by six, anyways, or not be, or not found. But anyways, so we went there. We drove the trucks in. We hiked about a good 6 to 8 miles in, right?
Woo.
And so of course, we had all our gear and all that, and we went in, and then as we were going in there, I say probably like the 5th mile, we hiked in on the trail about a good 2 miles, and then we went off the beaten path about a good 5 miles.
Yeah.
Went out deep, right?
Yeah.
Well, we ran into this massive, I wouldn't say massive, it was like a good size cemetery out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like the stones were falling over. Like, it was actually beautiful. And like, what the freak is this? So we actually pinned it and marked it. And I say altogether, it was probably like 23 like gravestones.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And so, man, when I tell people that, man, and like, if you're easily spooked, and so growing up in those areas and getting any time in the woods, what you just said in there is actually, I tell people this a lot, man. Hiking the white trail at the park, that's not the woods, right? Mm-hmm. That's not it, man. What you just did, you go in a mile, and then hey, guys, that way, 5. Now you're in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Now you're in there. I stood at the top. My last little video I did when I was at the park. Got so high up there, I got winded, man. I was a little bit gassed. As far as the eye could see, man, all I could see was just trees. All I could see, man. And it was easily, I don't know, 30 miles, had to be at least 30 miles. Not a house in sight, right? That's the woods. Going down there, coming through it, that's when you get into it. And then something about those Appalachian Mountains, man, is that when you're going through the woods, you're going to come on something like that. You're going to run up on like a cave that's like out of nowhere, or you're going to come out. Or I was talking to some people. That Tennessee mountain range that runs that border between, I've never got down too far towards the Georgia end, but I'm very familiar with that North Carolina, Western North Carolina, East Tennessee border. There's wild people in there. I'm 100% convinced of it, man. There's feral people in there. There's people in there that go out there and they'll spend a week this farming ginseng. And I had to explain to people what that is, man. These people are, and like, if you roll on this, and I guarantee you there's moonshiners still going on in there, man. There's all kinds of
100%.
Yeah, there's all kinds of so if the people, not only are you having to deal with those people, and they will see your campfire. So like they will see you, right? Cold camping is no fun, right? Especially in the Smoky Mountains, right? It's no fun. So they will see you, and they will creep their way over there just to see what you are doing, right? And they'll hang out and just sit there and listen. And so not only on top of that, I just did something. I'm working on a project right now for the channel that I'm actually adding a new form of content to it, where just go and look at the Tennessee wild man. There is a Eastern Tennessee cryptid that's totally specific to that area. It's called the Tennessee wild man, which is basically a 5 to 6 foot mean, high Bigfoot like freaking creature, but it is mean. It will kill
It's aggressive.
It will kill and eat your dogs, and it will steal women if it gets a chance on. This thing is known to try to take women, right? So yeah, man, those areas in there, man, they're not for the weak, especially I when I talk to people from Maryland, it's like, hey, look, I'm thinking about moving down to the south, and I'm like, oh, are you now? So where are you from? Oh, I'm from Bethesda. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we're about to buy.
Joe's like, let me educate you on some stuff before you go.
Yeah, we're gonna buy 20 acres. I can't believe we're getting it so cheap. And I'm like, let me tell you why you're probably getting it. Let me tell you what. Let me
Yeah,
tell
there's
you
a
why.
reason why.
There's a reason why you're getting that so cheap, man. So yeah, man, like it's a whole nother animal, man. So yeah, Drew. So bro, give me, man. So yeah, so that's what got you into it, man. Come on, man. Give me a good story, man. I know you got
Yeah,
some
I'll
time
give
in
you
the
a good
bush,
one.
man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I'll talk about the Skinwalker Cave after this one. Um, so this is 2018. Yeah, 2018. So this is before the whole COVID hit or the jab and all that stuff. This is I had about like a good 4 to 5 guys on my cryptid team already, and one of the guys, Paul, God bless you, Paul, love you. He was in charge of like collecting intel, right? So he was on Facebook forums, he was on Reddit, all this stuff. So he's just gathering up intel, basically on like the local areas in Tennessee, right? If there's any like missing people, anything like that. So he's just chatting with people, right? Just collecting intel, doing all that stuff. So he's like, hey, we actually got a hit. There's this lady that reached out to us in Mountain City, Tennessee.
Oh, I know right where
There's
that's
a
at.
lot. Yeah, yeah. So he's like, there's been a lot of people missing. There's been animals getting ripped apart, stuff like that. And so this lady's property backs up right there into the mountains, and behind her house are nothing but like logging trails and stuff. And she's been saying that there's like a lot of homeless, camping out there, and then they're just dying. They're just taking whatever's out there, just taking them. And we looked up like the police reports and stuff. They're leading those to animal attacks, right? So we're like, oh, cool. This is actually a good lead. So he contacted her, and so ever since then, I will never, ever, ever. I'm begging you, people, don't ever, ever go without a team less than 4 or 5. So I went with the team of 3. So it's because certain guys couldn't get off at that time, or they had other obligations. So I understand that.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.